When we were kids and we didn't like someone, we would tell them that we're not friends anymore. And yeah, it hurt, but it was a lot better than pretending to be friends with somebody that we didn't like or that didn't like us. I think the reason people don't do friendship breakups in adulthood and the reason they lead their friends on is because it's so hard to find and maintain friendships in adulthood that we kind of just stick to whatever we have, even if it's not healthy for us or it's just not doing it for us. It's not meeting our needs. When I was a kid, I loved to tell my friends my entire life story because I was like 7. I didn't have much of anything to tell, but they would also tell theirs and I was interested and we felt so close getting to know each other like that. And in adulthood, it just feels like people just want to be wanted. They don't want to connect with other people. It's emotional unavailability. It's also self-centeredness. It's really one-sided relationships. A couple years ago, I had a friend thank me for asking how they were doing back. And I said, "What do you mean? I'm supposed to ask how you're doing back because I care about you and we're friends?" And they said, "Yeah, but you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't ask back because they just don't care." And I realized that over the next couple years to be really true, not with most people, but with the good portion of people that I think is kind of unacceptable, but normalized regardless. Because this is why I stopped doing dating apps entirely. They just don't care about other people. They just want to be wanted. I would ask them questions about themselves and it felt like I was interviewing them. And I heard that phrase, "It feels like you're interviewing them." It means they don't want the job. It shouldn't be an interview to get to know your friends or your romantic or platonic partners. And why do people care more about their romantic and platonic partners than their friendships? Because friendships are like the fucking backbone of everything. That's community right there, right? My friend breakups from when I was a child hurt a lot more than my romantic or sexual breakups. But they're still necessary because you should break up with people that you're not getting along with. Stop stringing them along. Stop leading them on to believe that you care about them more than you do. We shouldn't do that to our adult friends. We owe them a little bit more than that. Something I've noticed in my adult friendships, not all of them, but a decent portion of them over the years, is that they just want someone to listen to them talking about themselves. They want someone to talk at. And at that point, I'd rather they go see a therapist, but they don't want to pay, so they use me as free emotional labor. For a while, I thought that I was being avoidant by stepping back from these relationships, but then I would go back to them and realize that they still didn't care about me or show interest in me, not even remotely close to the same way that I was. I'm not talking about giving their all or being obsessive. I'm talking about asking, "How was your day?" back. It's the bare minimum. And the thing is, I don't want them to ask if they don't care. So at that point, don't pretend. But also, don't just talk at me. Let's end the friendship if it's so one-sided. And it is my responsibility at the end of the day, if I feel like this person's not going to give it up, that I need to say, "Hey, this feels really one-sided. I think I'm going to leave." That phrase, "you don't owe anybody anything," was really made for like survivors of complex trauma in regards to certain things about their trauma. It wasn't made for everybody to just disregard everybody else's needs and a sense of community to be hyper individualistic. And some people don't even believe in that phrase, but it still shows up in their life through actions like this. I get we're excited to talk about ourselves, but sometimes even these people have friends, family, partners, and they still will only use me as emotional labor. At that point, I don't understand what I'm there for if you have other people to talk about yourself to. Maybe you just like talking about yourself. I like talking about myself, so I go on social media and I talk about myself to people who want to listen to me talking about myself. They tune in because they want to know about me. They want to hear what I have to say. And when a friendship doesn't provide that for me, then I start to think maybe this isn't in a friendship, maybe this is an acquaintanceship, and that's okay, but I have a right to step back from that, and I have a right to not feel guilty about it. Now, I know good friends are out there because, like I said, people on social media show that care for me. Good friends are out there. At that point, we have to make sure that we're balancing to make it equitable, not equal. Equal would mean everyone gives 50-50 regardless. Everybody gives the same thing regardless. But that's not how humans work. We're very complex. We're different. We're going through different things, different circumstances. We have different capacities. And that might change depending on the hour, the day, the month, the year. And that's okay. If you love someone and they love you back, you'll find a balance based on your different capacities. It will be fair, it will be consensual for the both of you, and it will benefit both of you. Relationships are transactional, but they shouldn't be transactional in a way where you're looking at someone and saying, okay, well, I need this need met. What do I have to do for them to get my need met? It's healthier to get your needs met while also saying, what can I provide for you? It's an offering, not an obligation. Friendships shouldn't be an obligation. I will also add that sometimes you are going to do things to support your friends that you don't want to do, as long as it's still consensual, like going to a hospital when they're sick. Ugh, I hate hospitals. I hate the parking. Okay, but my friend is sick and they need me and I love them. I'm going to show up anyway. That's an example. I'm not talking about jumping out of your boundaries and putting yourself in danger or a really, really bad situation to support somebody. That's not the same thing. And I feel like that's a disclaimer I will throw out there because I'm tired. I talk about these things because I used to do them. And then I've been working on myself for a long time that I step away from that behavior. And then I realize how common it is and how normalized it is among others and how shitty it feels on the other side. And while there's a big part of me that's like, yeah, I'm getting what I deserve, I like to see the other perspective and it sucks. I'm glad that I've grown so much. But it also sucks to realize how common this behavior and these mentalities are. I don't think we're treating people as well as we could be in a lot of instances. People have become more hyper-individualistic these days, and it's really obvious to me. Anyway, I'm gonna do the dishes and watch 6 Feet Under and then go to sleep. Bye.